Joe, I'll start with you. This has been obviously a tumultuous week. You got to get the roster cut down. You're investigating players that are out on the street. How has it all worked internally as far as the chain of command?
Yeah, it was actually really a smooth process overall. Like, I was really pleased the way things worked out. We start with our pro scouts. They evaluate the entire league. Director level, Tim McDonald, Dennis Hickey, Brandon Brown, Chris Rossetti did a good job filtering the players that we need to get eyes on, not only me, but the coaching staff. They did a great job. So it was collaborative, all hands on deck, and we were able to claim 4 players that we're excited to work with.
Coach, what about your job and your staff's job, bringing these people in that have not been with this program all summer and even in the spring, and getting them up to speed as fast as possible? Because the rules that exist now through COVID, you can bring guys up and they can be in your opening day roster.
Yeah, I think it's important for the coaches to be able to do that. It can happen anytime during the year where a guy goes down, and whether you look outside the organization or bring someone up from the practice squad, you got to do a really good job of teaching the players how we do things outside the building and then inside the building as well, not just the schedule and the organization part of it, but obviously the scheme. So those guys got to be ready to go, and the coaches need to do a good job with it. With
training camp in the rearview mirror in the preseason, what were some of the positive takeaways that you got out of your ball club this year?
I think we've improved every day since we've been here on the field with our skill set, our fundamentals, and our techniques, but also within the locker room of building team chemistry. It's a long season. There's a lot of ups and downs, and team chemistry to Joe and to myself, the people that we bring in is very important. And I think we've made strides in that. We'll find out once we start playing, and we're going to have to hit some adversity. But up to this point, the guys have done everything we asked them to do.
Joe, obviously for the fans that are watching, they're hardcore Giants fans watching this program. Look, it's a tough situation. You've had to rework this roster. You've had salary cap constraints. You've had to make decisions that way. Has that been the biggest challenge, kind of dancing around the cap and trying to figure out how we can do things most economical at this point as you bring in the people that you want moving forward?
Yes, it's definitely a challenge, but we've kind of looked at it as it is what it is. This is how we're going to operate, and this was a great opportunity for us to, improve the back end of our roster, but also practice squad. We're going to continue to, turn that over, and again, it's an extension of the 53-man roster now with the ability to elevate the practice squad. So, being on the practice squad can be truly developmental, and we're playing the short game in 2022, but also the long game in 2023 with the practice squad, and those guys potentially being able to help us in the future.
Talk a little bit about, Coach, this offensive line. Because of injury during training camp, you got to try a lot of different people out, and I think there were some positives that you saw out of this, and then the maturation of Evan Neal on that right side.
Sure, I'll start with Bobby Johnson and Tony Sparano. They've done a fantastic job with these guys. Playing offensive line is difficult, and you have to have 5 guys operating as one. The communication level at that spot is so critical to the success of the team. That's where it starts. I've been pleased with Evan, how he's developed. Andrew Thomas was named captain. Glowinski, Feliciano have been in there. We've brought those guys in as guys that we think fit the role that we need them to fit. And there's been a lot of competition at some of the other spots. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of those injuries at that spot, but I think they've done a good job as a whole of continuing to develop, learning to play multiple spots, and I think we're headed in the right direction.
As you and your staff are out there looking at players that are available and still may be available, what are the core characteristics that those players must have before you even entertain it outside of height, weight, and speed?
Yeah, it's obviously you're looking at the physical traits, the height, weight, speed, how they played in the preseason, but we also do a lot of background work on these guys too. We got to make sure, I just told my guy, we're not just collecting talent. We're trying to build a team, and they have to have, the DNA that we covet as well. So, if we start by identifying them on the film, who we like, and then, we'll look back at our college evaluations, what we had on them, our medical, and maybe call around to some other teams if we're going to claim somebody or bring them in for a workout. So it's guys that have talent, but also, the right type of habits.
What's impressed you most, having had a chance to work with Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones as closely as you have to work with them?
I'd say they're 2 very competitive individuals that care about the team more than anything else. They've done everything we've asked them to do since we've been here. They've shown leadership. They've shown skill set. They've practiced every day. They have a great attitude about coming to work. And I'd say that, very happy to have them and work with them.
You have fun out at practice. You're fun in the building. But you have been able, at least from the outside, seem to have created a very clear line of there's fun and then also I'm the boss.
Yeah, I just think, look, you can't have egos in this business. I've seen it throughout my career. You have to be level-headed, and I think you have to be a straight shooter and just tell the players and your staff what are the expectations. Be very clear in those. Sometimes have tough conversations if you need to have them. But I think it's important to show people that you care about them, because the players and the coaches really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's important in terms of building our culture and what we want to try to build here. So I'd say I try to be as real as I can be with also being as honest. And to come to work every day and be miserable that doesn't serve anybody well. So I think you want to come in with a smile on your face. Are you going to be happy every day? No, you're going to have to deal with a lot of obstacles. But it's the ability to bring people together, with a smile on your face or a joke here or there. And, when it's time to be serious, you're serious. And they understand that.
Guys, we appreciate the time. I know you can't wait to get back to your phone because things are happening. Yeah. But best of luck this season, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.